Greetings, beautiful people. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Saturday, October 10th, 2020. It is another day to be thankful. If you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. So, focus on what is good today. And then, whatever it is you are expecting, you will have a positive outcome. So, focus on what is good. I do have a quote for you today, and my quote is, being sweet is better than being bitter in your spirit. I'm going to read that quote again. Being sweet is better than being bitter in your spirit. The two key words of that quote is bitter and sweet. We have a choice to be bitter or sweet. And being sweet, as we all know, is so much better than being bitter. Being bitter, unfortunately, it represents unforgiveness, not letting go of past hurts, an unchanged mind, holding on to negative thoughts and not embracing good things. Bitterness is like a cage. A person decides that they are going to gravitate to everything that is negative, and they just sit in the cage. That's what bitterness is. Bitterness is a form of bondage mentally, because it first begins in your thought life. And it comes from being angry, being resentful about something that was done you have chosen not to forgive. But I don't want to focus on the bitter part too much. I want to talk about the sweet part. How sweetness is better than being bitter. Being sweet is a representation of tenderness, goodness, forgiveness, compassion. And also being sweet is an aroma of a person's attitude for people to experience when they are in your presence. Being sweet has so many benefits because it nurtures others, it encourages others, and is a reflection of how you feel about yourself in that moment. You notice how when someone is very sweet, there is a calm or peace that's over them? Well, that same calm and that same peace is an extension of something that you can give to someone else. When you decide that you want to be sweet, or when you are feeling good about yourself, it's easy to be sweet to someone else. It's easy. It's a decision that you make to manage what's going on with you in the inside to make sure that you are right on the outside. Unfortunately, sometimes people that are bitter, I do understand that a lot of people are hurting, a lot of people need healing. So I'll say this to you. Take each day and focus on the good that can happen versus the bad that has happened. If you focus on the past more than you focus on your future, that can keep you bitter. So focus on the good that can happen versus the bad that has happened. I understand that, many of us, all of us have been hurt at some time or another. but we don't have to hold on to it. We don't have to strap it to our brain and walk around with it. We don't have to live with it in our house as if bitterness is a piece of furniture. We don't have to embrace the hurt of the past and rehearse the hurt of the past. We can let it go. Being angry or being bitter is a choice. Because if you decide to let go of past hurts, you decide in that moment to clean your own house. And what I'm saying is cleaning your own house is cleaning your thought life. So clean your thought life and start being sweet. Because when you decide to be sweet, you will become an asset for others. Being sweet is a reflection of goodness, a reflection of compassion. Being sweet is an extension of kindness and grace. When you do something sweet for someone and you say something sweet to someone, you benefit from it and the other person benefits from it. It doesn't work just one way. So be sweet. It doesn't cost anything to be sweet. We need to be sweet to one another. This world is going crazy. So many people in the midst of this pandemic are frustrated. Sadly, some of them are filled with anxiety. They don't have peace. So just think, if you walk out your house today and you decide that you're going to be sweet to someone, you're going to be kind to someone, you're going to extend that compassion to someone, you become an asset instantly when you decide to be sweet. Now, being sweet doesn't mean you only are sweet to those that deserve it now. Because if you are only sweet to those that deserve it, then there is no power in it. But if you are or try to be sweet to someone that does not deserve it, now you're talking about some power being released. Because when you are sweet to someone that doesn't deserve it, now you're talking about some serious virtue. See, God is in the midst of something like that. Because none of us deserves goodness. None of us deserves sweetness. But think about it. God himself, he shows us goodness and sweetness all the time. So be sweet to somebody today and make a conscious decision to clean your thought life, not to be bitter. And when you make that decision, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So be sweet. Start forgiving people of past junk today and clean your thought life to be sweet. I thank you so much for listening to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I have more inspirational topics coming up. And I have an awesome interview that is coming up in my next podcast. I have an author. Her name is Maria Young, and she is an author of a book she recently wrote about life. So we're going to talk about that. So tune in to my next podcast. And as always, I thank you for listening. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SB Favor. I do have a YouTube channel at SB Favor. So please subscribe to my channel, check, like, and leave me a comment. I would appreciate your feedback or suggestions. Thank you so much for listening to SB Favor Thinking Podcast. You have a good day.